Shalom Aleichem Akhawati Khatwati. Hello everyone, this is Maher Raham. Today we're going to cover chapter 5, Numbers and Time, from the 4th edition, and Alphabet and Introduction to Modern Syriac Eastern Dialect. And these are the learning objectives we're going to cover in this video. We can learn the names of number in Syriac, cardinal numbers 1 to 10, numbers 11 to 19, how to read the component number 20 to 99, how to read the hundreds, the numerical value and names of the number behind 499, how to read 1,000, how to read the ordinal numbers, and then how we're going to use the regular numbers to represent the ordinal number. That exactly is going to help us with the century when we're going to read the century later on. Okay, the first thing we have the names of number in Syriac, cardinal number 1 to 10. Again, if you are using the book 7 by 9 size of the page, that is going to be on page 77. Now, how this one is going to be done, I'm not going to read everything from the book. You should have the book with you, and also not all examples in this chapter I'm going to read it. And the reason is now you should be able to start your reading. So I'm going to try to not to read every single thing in that page or in these pages, coming pages from chapter 5 to 10. So some information about the cardinal numbers 1 to 10 is listed there. You need to read that one, but I'm going to just jump how we're going to say. One notes here that the number from 3 to 10 in the masculine form ends with the alap and skapa on a preceding letter, and without alap and skapa for feminine form, except the number 8 ends with the zlama qashya and alap for the feminine form. The names of numbers are either simple, like single, or component numbers, like kha 1, 3 2, ثلاثة 3, 콴őŊ 7, ﷺ 10. By the way, in Syriac, the numbers is either masculine or feminine from 1 to 10. So from 1 to 10 is either masculine or feminine. Masculine, when you describe a masculine object, like when I say 10 doors. Door is a masculine in Syriac, so I'm going to say ﷺ, the masculine number of 10 to describe the door. Let's just take some examples in page 77, in the bottom of page 77. In the right column, always right column we're going to start because we have right to left language. The first two columns, masculine and feminine, and then I have examples, the third and the fourth columns from right. Examples, the first one is going to be masculine form and the second one feminine form, and then you have the meaning in English. So I'm going to just try to focus on the Syriac one. So the first one, kha for male or masculine, غذا for feminine. Example, خبرونا, one boy. غذا براتا, one girl. تري تتي, تري ملكي, تتي ملكياثا, two kings, two queens. ثلاثة, 3 for male, masculine. ثلث for feminine. ثلاثة كثاوة. ثلث ملبنياثة. أربع أربة. أربع قشيشة. أربع إيلانة. خمسة خمش. خمسة جورة. خمش إنشة. إشتا إشت. إشتا خبوشة. إشت برتقالة. شقة إشوأ. شقة تورة. إشوأ تورياثة. تمانية تمانية. تمانية تلميذة. تمانية تلمذياثة. تشأة تشأ. تشأ ملاخة. تشأ ملخياثة. إسرة إسر. إسرة خوخة. إسر خيارة. Now, to know about the fact of the international numbers, the one we use now, you can look at the appendix H for all the information in there. Now, numbers from 11 to 19, they are the same for masculine and feminine, and there is kind of combination in by the way, this is for speaking language, the dialect, the speaking language. The number 11 to 19 are the same. The first part of the these numbers, the singular, is going to be in the masculine form. The second part, which is 10, is going to be the feminine form. Now, I'm going to try to explain this to you, how we read the number, okay, as is written in the book, but also I'm going to try to tell you how we say the number, because really sometimes we merge letters together. These two words, the singular and the number 10 in the feminine, they're going to be kind of merged together, and you need to pay attention how I'm going to say it. In the page 78, the Syriac number in the first column, and then the example, and the meaning in English is in the third from right. 11, the first one is خادسر. خادسر. خادسر, let's say. خادسر. Together we say خادسر. Do you see how I merged that one? خادسر, 110. Together, that just literally means 110. Together is خادسر. Example, خادسر طيرة. تريسر, 210, that's mean 12, okay? It's gonna be like treser. Treser file. تلتاسر. تلتاسر بيرخة. أرباسر. أرباسر باتة. خمشاسر. خمشاسر طورة. اشتاسر. اشتاسر إلانة. شؤاسر. شؤاسر كثاوة. تمنيسر. تمنيسر يماثة. تشآسر. تشآسر بطيخة. How are we going to count from 20 to 90? You know, when we say 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90, before we're going to say 21, 22. So let's just study those numbers in Syriac, and then we're gonna try to do the component number, the one it says 21, 33, and so on. If you look, there is some explanation there how exactly it's gonna end. It's gonna, all of them, they're gonna end with the E, the ḥwasa, the vowel E, and noon. Noon is silent. If you're gonna remove the or not signing the noon, it's gonna be in the classical language how we say that number. But because we are learning the spoken language, so we're gonna sign in the noon. So 20 isri, isri. 30 tlathi. That's the first column from the right. Isri, 20. Tlathi, 30. Arbi, 40. Khamshi, 50. Ishti, 60. Shoi, 70. Tmani, 80. And sometimes you hear people that say tmana. Tish'i, 90. Component numbers from 21 to 99. We have two styles of saying the component number 21 to 99. The first style is the English style, like we read the English number, where we say the tenth first and then the singular second. 21, 35, 66. That is the one style we're gonna adopt it for this book. Again, even though this one is for Nineveh Plain, but I'm gonna try to teach both of you, but I have to use one style so not to confuse my readers here. So we're gonna use the English style where we say the tenth first and then the singular second. And the other style is the Western dialogue style, where we use the singular first and then the tenth. For example, the 21, that style is gonna say 1 and 20. 120 or 1 and 20, because we're gonna have the wow in between. So let me give you example for both of them. So we're gonna study both of them together here. The first styles, we're gonna use the English styles from left to right. Okay, that's mean the tenth and then the singular. By the way, this is I'm saying English style does not mean we follow the English style. No, it is the original one of reading the number in Syriac, but to make it easy to you, we say the English style. So how are we going to say 21? Isri ukha. Isri ukha. Do you see here the wow is to join two numbers. These two numbers, we put the wow to join those. Isri ukha. Literally, it means 20 and 1. 33 tlathi utlatha. Tlathi utlatha. And so on. I'm going to just made up some numbers here are not in the book. For example, to say 67, okay, we're going to say ishti ŨՅՈՒ. 92, tish'i utre. 45, arbi khamsha. Okay, that exactly the style we're going to use in this book. The second style is the way we use or the style used by Western dialogue, where they say the singular first and then the tenth second. For example, if I'm going to say 21, I'm going to say <hesitation>isri. ﷺ means 1 and 20. More examples, not from the book. To say 37, we're going to say ﷺ. 28 28 74 24 So that's how we say it, and I think that it's not hard. If you're going to learn one of them, you can say the other one. However, whatever style you're going to use, all of them, they're going to understand what you're trying to say about the numbers, about the component number. Hundreds, how to read hundreds. 100 that's mean one. Hundreds, more than one. Like when you start from 200 and up, you have to put it in a plural statement, or plural form, sorry. And we learned that the numeric value starting from ყოფ to tau is 100 to 400. So how are we going to read the name, even though we have studied this one? There is a few lines there explaining to you how to read it. I'm going to jump to the examples to read that one. To say 100 in that table in the middle of page 79, ؐ, or for short we say umma. For 100 we can short that one, just say umma, like when we say 100 or we say 100 in English. Probably for your native language also you do that. ؑ 100. You see here in the plural form. Why? Because it's more than one. It's 200. In English we do not say 200s, okay, but here we have to say it in the plural form. 3 3 4 that is the 400. In the case of hundreds, thousands, millions, and billions, exactly is the same thing from 1 to 9. Like when you say 1 to 9, 1 is going to be in a singular, 2 to 9 is going to be in the plural. However, because we're not going to cover the billion, everything here, for million, 1 million, we call it miljona in Syriac, miljone in the plural form. For billions, we say miljara for 1, miljare in the plural. Okay, example, to say, for example, 300 women. These are exactly, you can use all of them in the masculine form in general. That's how exactly the counting is after 11 and up. But if you want to be more like specific in your reading the number, if the object is to describe the feminine, you can put that one in the feminine too, from 1 to 9. Example, ثلاثة إنشة. ثلاثة is for masculine, in a masculine form. إنشة are women, 300 women. ثلاثة إنشة. Can I say that 3 in the feminine? Yes, you can say that, but if you're gonna just not say that one, is okay. You can say ثلاث إنشة. Both of them are correct. Both of them people, they can understand what are you talking about. So I'm going to repeat those two statements. ثلاثة إنشة in the masculine form. ثلاث إنشة in the feminine form, which means 300 women. How are we going to read 3 digits number? You mean like the component number from 21 to 99? In addition that the 100, exactly, because we're going to follow the style we said, English style, which is the original of the Eastern dialect style of reading the number. It's going to be exactly the same thing we follow in English, but we have to add we and we, okay, to join the numbers, the 3 numbers too, the 3 numbers, the digits we have there. We're going to use, if I have a 3 digits, I have to use the we, the wow, twice. That means it's number of digits minus 1 to say the wow. and so on. If I have 4 digits number, so I have to say 3 times wow, and so on. For example, here to say 325 in the bottom of page 79, we're going to say ثلاثة just like normal, 300, okay? And I'm going to say the 25 with a wa. وإسري وخمسة. ثلاثة وإسري وخمسة. The numerical values and names beyond 99. Here, we have to see how we're gonna make. We finished by 400, so what exactly is gonna be the 500 to 900, and then 1,000, and then 1 million, and so on. So from 500 to 900 in page 80. On the top of that one, we're gonna go back for starting from noon. You remember noon was 50? So to make it 500, we put 3 dots in a triangle shape above the number, as is shown there. So, and also I'm gonna read the name for 500, 600 to 900. So, خمسة 500. Ishta is Simketh and 3 dots above, 600. Shu'a Ain and 3 dots above. If the top one is not there due to the computer font, please add it there. If it's not see it there, that is 700. Tamania okay, that's 800. And تسعة Examples of 714 students. وأربعة يلوب. Thousands. How to read thousand. ألف, thousands. ألفا, again, just like we learned in 100. Alpa or kha alpa, that's mean 1,000, and alpe for more than 1,000. How we gonna numeric value for 1,000? If you look at page 80, we put a line above starting from alep. Alep was number 1, right? Beth 2, Gamal 3. So if I'm gonna put a line above these letters starting from alep, alep and line above, that's gonna be 1,000. Beth and line above is 2,000, and so on. So how are we gonna read the 1,000? It's just regular one, like we say it with 100. We can say it here too, and then we're gonna learn about how to read the 4 digits in Surah. I'm gonna read 1,000 to wherever I have in that table. Kha alpa, or for short alpa. 3,000. $15,000. 90,000. 90,000. 100,000. 300,000. 300,000. 900,000. In Syriac, we do not say like English 2,300 to read the 2,300 number. Just read the number as is. For example, we're going to say 3,300. 3,300. On page 81, how to read the 1,000, which is the 4 digits here. And again, 4 digits, that means I have to use a 3 wow, always -1. The number of digits -1 are the wows we're gonna have there, unless we have 0 somewhere, which we don't read the 0 as well. For example here, 35,000. 35,000. 35 add 1,000 ألف in a plural. $146,000. $146,000. $146,000. How are we gonna read 4 digits? Exactly the same thing. Here, for example, I have 2015. One of them is 0, so we're gonna say 3015. 3015. The other example, 4,213 houses. 4313 بيت. The ordinal numbers, and how we're going to read the ordinal numbers, how we say the ordinal numbers, and also can we use the regular number to say the ordinal number. Okay, on the middle of that page 81, I have this table, again starting from right, masculine, feminine, plural, and the meaning. Again, here in ɁЯ렷, we can put the ordinal number in a plural as well. So that's why I had the third column from right, which is in the plural form. For masculine, 뾱αία, feminine, บํέθα, in the plural, บํάιε, which means first. Τραϊάνα, τραϊάνηθα, τραϊάνε, second. Τλιθάια, τλιθαΐθα, τλιθάιε, third. Ρουιάια, ρουιάήθα, ρουιάιε, fourth. Χμισάια, χμισαΐθα, χμισάιε, fifth. Στιθάια, στιθαΐθα, στιθάιε, sixth. Σουιάια, σουιάήθα, σουιάιε, seventh. Τμινάια, τμιναΐθα, τμινάιε, eighth. Τσιάια, τσιάήθα, τσιάιε, ninth. عصيرايا, عصيرايثا, عصيراي, 10th. The first, 콴ΑΙΑ, <coughs>έθα, είμαι, for male, female, and plural, means the beginning. The rest of ordinal numbers have a common with the corresponding root. For example, τλιθάια, third, and τλάθα, 3, have a common root, and so on. Note the last, okay, to say the last is ἓάια for male, 噚αρέθα for female, န့αραΐ in a plural, that's in the Syriac. Now, if you want to know more about the ordinal number from 11 and up, see the appendix I in the end of the book for more about that. How are we going to use the regular number for ordinal numbers? That is simple. If you know any number, for example, 1, except number 1, always is going to say 콴ΑΙΑ. Again, always number 1 is 콴ΑΙΑ. We don't see the ⵅ. We say 콴ΑΙΑ. So starting from 2 to infinity in a number, if you want to put that one in an ordinal number, okay, as an ordinal number using the regular number, we use or we add the preposition de, deleth, in the beginning, which gonna give you the meaning of that number. For example, to say the third using tlatha, okay, the regular number tlatha, we add deleth in the front, so it's gonna be ditlatha, means of the third, of the 3, which really means the third. To say the 12th, okay, the 12, we're gonna say ditreser, the 12th, or of the 12th, and so on. If you want to say the 5th, dkhamsha. If you want to say the 100th, d'umma. If you want to say the 123 or 23rd, okay, 123rd, you're gonna say d'umma, d'umma, وإسري وثلاثة. and so on. So that is going to make it easy for you. If you cannot memorize the ordinal number, you can use the regular number. Fractions and how we read the fractions. I have few example there. Writing from the right column, ربع 1/4, quarter means quarter. ثلثة 1/3, بلغة half or 1/2, ثلاثة رباع 3/4, خمسة 1/5, شتثة. Look at the these one from 1/5 to 1/10. How exactly is coming from the root 5 to 10th with adding u, the second letter. خمسة 1/5, شتثة 1/6, ⵛوعة 1/7, تمنة 1/8, تشعة 1/9, عسرة 1/10. Examples to say half an hour. بلغة شيثة 25 cents ربع دولار 45 minutes 3 ربابة شيثة. Percentage, very easy, very simple, is by saying the number and then add the b, the preposition beth, 100. So it's going to be the number in 100. That's exactly literally means. And that's how we're going to say it. Examples. By the way, if you have from 1 to 10, you can use the masculine and feminine if you're describing masculine or you're describing feminine. For example here, खेरि օဿ for masculine, 1%, န့ for feminine, 1%. ₦ 5%, ₦ ጵ 10%, ጵ 10% for feminine. More example on page 83 on the top of that one. I'm going to read a couple of them and I'll leave the rest for you. ₦ and the second, which is ₦ 40%, ₦ 20%, ₦ 27%. How to read the sum of money? Just like any language, we read the number first. If it's integer, no decimals, and then we say the currency. We're going to use the dollar, dollara, dollare in the plural, centa, cente in the plural. Just, you know, you can use your currency just like in this form. So how we're going to read the money? If the number or the amount is integer, no decimals, we say that one and then we say the currency. If I have the decimals, like integer and decimals, so we're going to say the integer and the currency and then the decimals and the currency for the decimals. Using dollar, dollara, and centa in this example, I have here in the middle of that page 83, we're going to say $10, $15, $15 وبلغة, $15.50. Honestly, 50 is a half of dollar, so we say بلغة. $15 وبلغة. $25.99, $25.99. We're going to say $25 وتسعة بلسة or cent. By the way, بلسة is in Syriac, we can say centi or pilse as well as is described in the book. How to pronounce the measurements? Same thing in like any other language. We're gonna say the number and then the unit for that one. The only thing you need to memorize the unit in 噚ЯΘ, which is most like similar to English or any language, because these units are international names, except with some of them they have a specific name in 噚ЯΘ. For example, 5 پوده, 5 foot. پوده, 5 foot. 4 مطميات إخالة, 4 مطميات إخالة, 4 tablespoon. 4 مطميات إخالة. غذاء مطمية شاي, 1 teaspoon. غذاء مطمية شاي. The second column, 30 متر, 30 meters. 30 متر. 12 inches, 13 inke. You know, inke, we don't have the ch, but most people they say inche. Inke is in Syriac. Inke is in Syriac, that's the measure. But we say 13 inke. Again, as we learn, ke and ch, sometimes they exchange in our spoken language. We can say 13 inche. 40 mile, 40 miles. 40 mile. كيلومتر, كيلومتر, 100 kilometers. How to read and write Bible's verses. Here, just read the book name from the Bible and then say the number. Okay? Like when we say John 3:11, how are we going to say it? We're going to say Յوحنان 3:11. To write it, you're going to say Ｙوحنان جمل colon يوث ألف for 11. Gamal is a 3, Yoth Alap is 11, so Йوحنان Gamal Khadesar. Usually when we read, we don't say Gamal 11, it's fine if you're going to say that, but we say Йوحنان 3 Khadesar. The second one, إشعيا 3 إسري, Isaiah 30:20. مزمور إسرى 4:8, Psalm 10:4-8. متى 3:3, Matthew 6:31 or 31. روماي 9:4, 4:10. For a list of the Bible books names, see Appendix J. You're going to see all the Old Testament and the New Testament name of the books from the Bible and how we say those in Surah. How we pronounce the year. Again, if we already learn how to say the number, the only thing we need to know is how the style, the way of saying the year in Surah. Honestly, we add shata, de, shata, year, de, off, and read the number. Now, the only thing you need to know, if it's BC, okay, we're going to say Ilmaran, Ilmaran, BC. AC, we're going to say قمارا, AC, قمارا. However, by default, if it's AC, okay, we don't say المارا. We just say the shata, de, and read the number. Okay, all the information are there. I'm going to jump to read the examples on page 84. How are we going to say 2937 BC. So you would say ⵛάτα دتري ألب وتشأم وثلاثي شقة قمارا. BC قمارا. More example, how we're going to read 1614 AC. شاتد ألبا واشتأم وأرباسر المارا. 2017 AC. شاتا دتري ألب وشؤاسر. If the year is 3 digits, not a big deal. Just ignore, read the 3 digits and say المارا or قمارا. For example, 345 BC. شاتا دتلاثة أم وأربي وخمسة قمارا. Now, if the 1 to 10, if the year just by itself, okay, and it ends with the 1 to 10, we have to say the number in the feminine form, because shata is feminine. So to describe the 1 to 10 year, okay, the year of 1 to 10 has to be in the feminine number for these numbers. For example, if I have 5 AC, we're going to say شاتا تخمش المارن. شاتا تخمش المارن. 1810, we're going to say شاتا ألبا وثمانية أم وإسر. إسر is in the feminine form. How about if the third digit from left is 0? For example, 1903. 1903. How are we going to say this? 0, we don't read the 0. Even we can omit the 0. So we can say شاتد ألبا وتشأم وطلف. وطلف. It has to be in feminine. Why? Because the 3 is 1 to 10, and the name shata is feminine. Some examples here as a challenging quiz. Read the following year example. I'm going to read the first one, and you try to read the rest. 1400 شاتد ألبا وأربع أمه. Okay. Pronouncing century, okay, that is, we need to know. Shata, we learned that shata is a feminine, that's why 1 to 10 year has to be in a feminine form. Other than, could be the same. Now, century, dara, is masculine. So we're going to use the masculine form of the ordinal number, if we're going to use the ordinal number, or when we're going to use the regular number to represent the century. So we have two ways of saying the century. So century, dara, is masculine. So all number associated with it should be in the masculine form. There are two ways of pronouncing the century using the regular number. Okay, remember that? Which is going to be dara, d, and say the number. For example, to say the 4th century using the regular number, we're going to say dara d arba. Dara d arba. More examples here, challenging quiz on top of page 86. I'm going to read this 2 of them and leave the other 2 for you. Dara d isri kha. 21st century. Dara d isri kha. Dara tiltasar. 13 centuries. How are we going to do using the ordinal numbers? You know, the one we say qamaya, trayana, tlithaya, ruyaya, hmishaya, shtithaya, shwi'aya, and so on. Here, we're going to say dara and the ordinal number. We do not add the letter d like we did before. For example, 3rd century, we're going to say dara tlithaya. 9th century, dara tsi'aya. Dara tsi'aya. 2nd century دار تريانا. 5th century دار حميشايا. For your information, the decade is السارة. السارة for decade, 10 years. السارة. And it's in a masculine, by the way. The decade is in a masculine form, so all number is going to be in a masculine. And the plural form is السارة. السارة, to put them in a plural. 3 times zona in Syriac. First one, we can learn the parts of the day and where exactly we use the part of the day when we talk or describe the time of the day. We use them only to emphasize the time, okay, or to make sure you heard me good, or I want you to be there in this time. All right, so how are we going to say 12 a.m. midnight? Pelga or pelgid lele. Pelge is half, de lele of the night, pelgid lele. That is 12 a.m. From 12:01 to 2:59 a.m. and this period of time we say it bathar, means after. Bathar, pelgid lele. From 3 to 5:59, from 3 to 5:59, that is the morning or early morning. We say it qadamta. Qadamta. From 6 to 11:59 a.m. we call it mkhushka. Mkhushka. 12 noon, pelgid yoma. Pelgid, again, pelge is half, a dioma of the day, pelgid yoma. 12:01 to 2:59, bathar, pelgid yoma. 3 to 5:59 p.m., asarta, also ramsha. Asarta, also ramsha. From 6 to 11:59, lele. Lele. Hour or watch, okay, questions to ask for what time is it. In Surat we say maqa ila shetha, question mark, maqa ila shetha, okay, which literally means in how much is the hour. Before we're going to study how to say the hour, we need to know that the hour, shetha, is a feminine. So all the number we're going to say associate with the shetha, it's going to be in the feminine. From 1 to 10. From 1 to 10 are going to be in the feminine. One more note, we do not have AM and PM as English, okay, or international time. However, we can use adana, the one we learned before, to describe what time we need to see you. Or for short, which is kind of, we can say is mapping to AM, PM, but not exactly the same time period. We can say bioma, means in the day, and blele, at the night. Okay? For example, if the time is between 6 a.m. to 5:59 p.m., that is yoma. From 6 p.m. to 5:59 a.m. is going to be blele. Unless we need to emphasize the time by using adana, which means the parts of the day. We learned before. So, for example, to say 9:30 a.m., we say ⵛέθ°ւ. To say 9:30 a.m., we say ⵛέθ°ւ. To say, for example, sometimes we say 10 to 5. Okay, we use illa to which means else or except. Okay, in this case, to say, for example, 8:45, which also we can say 15 to 9 in English. Most the new generation, they don't know how to use 15 or do not use 15 to 9. They just read it like 8:45. But we can use that style. So to say 8:45, which means 15 to 9, we're gonna say tisha illa ruba. Some of the examples on page 87. I'm going to read a few, two of them, the first two, and I'll leave the rest for you. 7:15 p.m. ⵛέθ°ւ بليلة. 6 a.m. ⵛέθ°ւ بمخشكة. Let me read the last one just for more example. 5:25 p.m. ceeθ°5 برمشة. ceeθ°5 برمشة. More about practice numbers and time examples on page 88. I have 14 examples, and then the 14 number has more about the time, but let's just read a few of them. Number 1, okay, how many brothers do you have? Talking to the second person male. ἓ Number 10, can you give me 32 books from first male to the second male? Number 13, the number of a student is 123. من يان التلميذ إلى أمه ﷺ. About number 14, I'm going to read 12:30. ceeθ°ւ πελγηδιώμα. ceeθ°ւ πελγηδιώμα. 9:13 p.m. ceeθ°ւ بليلة. That is for chapter 5, and hope to see you in chapter 6 video. Thank you, and see you soon.